Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Now, there is one incontrovertible reality about business or good governance, and that is that the actual way an organization works comes from the very top. So if it works honestly and with integrity at the top, it tends to filter all the way down. If the reverse is true, like in South Africa, then it filters all the way down. Corruption. And it reaches every single little tentacle of government or NGOs that you just cannot believe. And at this time, it involves the South African Red Cross. A coup d'etat at the KwaZulu-Natal office of the South African Red Cross Society is threatening the continued existence of the 98-year-old humanitarian aid agency. And I have to thank Marlena for sending me these links. I mean, there's some really important stuff that the world needs to know. This comes amid allegations that about 1.6 million rand of donor money has been siphoned off into a private account and has been used unlawfully. And we're talking about South African Red Cross money. The finance manager of the organization in South Africa also alleges that those who hijacked the provincial office have been selling off vehicles, have changed locks and remote control access to the Durban North headquarters, and changed its internal server address. You can just see what's going on here. It is just crazy what's happening in South Africa. Every single aspect of that country is just going pear-shaped. Consider the VBS Mutual Bank. Okay, we all know that that was looted. And the big losers there were the pensioners, the black African pensioners and the municipalities, where billions of rand just disappeared. Well, Ramaphosa is not going to do anything about it, is he? Nah, he's involved in this whole crap. He is as corrupt as the rest of them. And that's why he had to seal his bank accounts. I'm really looking forward to see what happens about that, because I think he's got to actually get in a response to keep them sealed this week. President Cyril Ramaphosa has said there are independent institutions mandated by the Constitution to prosecute those guilty of misconduct, and it would not be right for him, the Deputy President or Cabinet, to start criminal prosecutions. The President was giving oral replies before the National Assembly on Thursday afternoon. This is last week. He has asked by National Freedom Party MP Sheikh Imam why no one behind the looting at VBS Mutual Bank had yet been criminally prosecuted. Now remember that this is the EFF, the snouts are so deep in this. Floyd Shivambu and Julius Chameleon Malema. The VBS Mutual Bank was placed under the curatorship by the Reserve Bank in March 2018 due to a liquidity crisis. The bank was later liquidated. An investigation by advocate Terry Matau into what led to the bank's collapse found that 1.9 billion rand had been looted from the bank and recommended over 50 people be criminally charged. Of course, nothing's happened. I know there is a great deal of impatience in the nation, and a measure of impatience that almost wants to see the roles the executives plays and the roles of independent institutions set up by the Constitution conflated. We cannot have a situation like that where the executive is the executioner of justice, Ramaphosa said. We have institutions like the National Prosecuting Authority, or NPA, investigative institutions like the police, like the Hawks, he said. All these institutions are carefully set up by the Constitution to deal with matters germane to the areas under which they are operating. He went on to say, the NPA is the one that initiates prosecutions following investigation and arrest by the police. Let us allow them as they rebuild, reposition and refashion themselves to do the work they are constitutionally mandated to do. Let us not interfere in the work they have to do. I would like to give them space and all the resources needed to do their work. It is they who must take the decision on who is to be prosecuted, Ramaphosa said. The day the president takes such a decision, it means that the state will have conflated the roles the independent institution must play with the role of the executive authority, he said. He gave his assurance that justice would be administered, and the NPA head, Shamila Bachi, is working on rebuilding the institution to take appropriate action. Now, look, no one's going to be charged. It's called theft. You can give it any name you like. It's corrupt, but the whole of the ANC all the way through, including little NGOs like the Red Cross, are just following their lead. You know how the Africans go shopping? I've shown you a couple of videos on that, and you can see for yourself what happens there. It's absolutely crazy. But let's have a look at something else. This is again just an example of incredible corruption within the ANC government. And this is a totally different situation, but you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, Gumede, Zandile Gumede, the mayor of Durban, who is facing fraud charges and who was put on standby by the ANC. She has withdrawn her resignation as mayor. The swearing-in of new Durban Mayor Moloksile Kaunda has been postponed indefinitely after the incumbent, Zandile Gumede, withdrew her resignation as mayor. While the governing party on Wednesday denied any knowledge of Gumede reversing her decision to stand down as mayor, 3 impeccable sources in the city said she had done so during the course of the day. The move by Gumede, who was suspended as mayor after being arrested on corruption charges in May, but was told to resign over poor performance, has thrown the ANC's plan to manage her removal into disarray. She has withdrawn her resignation, an ANC councillor in the eThekwini Metro, who cannot be named because they are not mandated to speak to the media. This is something. She has also complained to Luthuli House about being told to resign by SMS message and about the way in which the province was handled, the whole thing, the councillor said. Of course, she's in the Zuma camp, which is tied up closely with guess who? Ace Magashule. All roads lead to Rome. A second council said Gumede had written to city manager Sifo Nzuzu on Wednesday informing him that she had rescinded her decision to step down. She has submitted the letter today. She has met with her legal team, and this is done on their advice. This has been handled in a very clumsy fashion. She has legal issues facing her and can't allow herself to be associated with any clumsy decisions, the source said. The ANC spokesperson, Ricardo Mtembu, said the party was not aware of a change of decision by Gumede. We are not aware. The only letter we have is a letter of resignation. That's what we're working with, Mtembu said. Gumede and other ANC deployees of the eThekwini and Umsunduzi Council were told to resign last week by the provincial party leadership on the basis of poor performance. She had earlier placed on suspension after being released on bail of 50,000 rand over a 208 million rand municipal waste management tender. No work was done by the contractors who awarded the tender, allegedly afterwards manipulated by Gumede and supply chain management officials. Now, the whole organization stinks. The ANC stinks. I mean, it is just so incredibly corrupt at every single level you can think of. We are just scratching the very, very surface of a huge corrupt organization. These are stories that are coming out. But I can tell you that if someone's working for the ANC in a particular position and they've got a position over finances, I would lay money down that 99% of these people are on the take. And that's why everything in South Africa is collapsing, because the money is being drained out of every single organization. And it is very sad. The ANC 25 years ago were given a country which was one of the finest in the world, and they have looted it. And everybody in South Africa now is suffering as a result of their corruption. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for updates. Please like this video. And above all, have a safe day. Bye for now.